Hola from Nicaragua. This is quarantine video number 3. This is a gentle stretch for all levels. Really good to add before or after any workout, or just start your morning or end your evening with it. Pre or post surf. You need 2 things. Either a yoga block, and if you don't have a yoga block, a real thick book will do, and then a towel, just folded in half and rolled all the way up. I'm going to demonstrate some variations if you're extra tight on mat. We are going to begin standing. So grab a book or a block, and I like to come against the wall for this. So come on up, and just so you see where we're going, we're gonna have the balls of the feet on the block or the book like this, and we're gonna stretch the Achilles. So the right amount of space away from the wall is if you put your heel against the wall and then put the block or the book at your toe. So it's 1 foot distance away. And you're gonna bring the balls of the feet right on the edge, and you're gonna lean against the wall. More advanced would be just doing this standing on your mat, and you're going to lower your heels towards the floor. If your heels don't touch the floor, that's okay, but in an ideal world they would touch. And just take a few breaths here as you stretch your Achilles. And pull the kneecaps up with the quads. Pull the belly button in and up. And work on your posture here. Take a couple breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Again, breathe in and out. And now as we inhale, we're going to lift up onto the tippy toes. Stay here for a moment, look down at your feet, and make sure that the weight of your body is in between your big toe and your second toe. A lot of times we tend to go out towards our pinky toes, so we're working on foot alignment. And let's just lower and lift. You can do this about 5 to 10 times, so we're stretching and strengthening the Achilles. And again, just having that awareness of putting the weight of your body in between the big toe and the second toe. Let's do 3 more. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift, and then lower the heels. Take a couple more breaths, just feeling the Achilles lower down and stretch. And then go ahead and step out. You can just put your block to the side. And then we're gonna come seated sideways on our mat. So let's begin with the right leg out to the side, and your left foot is gonna come into the inner thigh. Now, if you need to grab onto a couch pillow or a bed pillow and sit on the pillow, that can be really nice. If you're also feeling pretty tight sitting here, you might need to bend your right knee. So Matt's gonna take a towel and put it underneath his right knee, and that will allow him to feel a relaxation in the hips. We're going to take this right hand behind the back, and if you can grab onto the right inner thigh, that's great, but sometimes that's a big stretch for the shoulder. So you're going to slide your fingertips, left fingertips, into the waistband of your pants. We're going to reach the right arm up, take a big inhale, and then exhale, come up and over. If you're more flexible, your right forearm will touch the ground in front of your leg. Maybe just your right back of the hand touches. Matt's able to rest his right forearm on the towel underneath his knee. Look straight ahead and allow your right ear to release to the right shoulder. So you're allowing the neck to relax. Run some energy through the right leg, maybe pull the right kneecap up with the quad. Flare your right toes, kind of in between a point and a flex. And we want to roll the left shoulder blade open, back and down here. Head is heavy. Take another inhale and exhale. We're going to stay in the side bend, extend the left arm straight up to the ceiling. Spread the palm, draw the shoulder blade down, and then reach back. So you're opening up the left pectoral muscle. It's tempting to want to look up to the ceiling here. Let the right ear release to the right shoulder. Deep breath in and out. Remember, some energy through your right leg. You can even squeeze your right sit bone in towards your tailbone. And then the next arm position, we're going to reach the left arm up and over. So the bicep is over the left ear, but draw that left shoulder blade down towards your armpit. And there can be a tendency to kind of point the chest towards the ground. Do the opposite and roll the chest open. And remember, if that's too much, you can come up and just bring your right hand in front of your right knee. That will be less of a stretch. And then the last arm position, stay here with your body. Reach your left fingertips away from you. They're about 6 inches from the ground, just above your left hip. And let's turn the gaze towards the right knee and allow the chin to just stay heavy. Breathe in and out. Roll the left shoulder blade back and down. And then let your head be heavy. Use the reach of the left arm to come up slowly. The head is the last thing to come up. And we'll stay facing the same way, and we'll just switch the legs. So extend your left leg out and your right foot in. So Matt's going to use his towel underneath his left knee. We're going to take the right arm and reach it behind the back. And again, I'm going to slip my fingertips into the waistband of my pants so that this shoulder, the right shoulder, can relax. Let's reach the, switch your arms. Reach the left arm up, take a big inhale. Then exhale up and over. Rest the back of your left hand on the ground. If you want a little bit more stretch, bring the left elbow down. Look straight ahead and relax the neck. So the left ear releases to the left shoulder. I'm pressing my right thigh down. Running energy through the left leg. Left kneecap pulls up. And flare your left toes like you're pushing the ball of the foot against the wall. Take one more inhale here. Roll the right shoulder blade back and down. And then we're going to extend the right arm up to the ceiling. Right shoulder blade draws down and then reach back. So you're opening up the pectoral muscle. You should feel a big stretch right here. Head is soft. Jaw is soft. Remember, if this is too much, you can come all the way up to the left hand and put it in front of the left knee. You should feel a really good stretch on the right side of the ribs. And then reach the left arm up and over, so right bicep over the ear. Draw your right shoulder blade down towards your right armpit. Let's look down to the left knee. Let your head be soft. Chin down. You should feel a stretch in the back of the neck. And then we're going to reach the right fingertips towards the front of our mat now. Fingertips are about 6 inches from the ground, right over the right hip. Same thing here, pull the right shoulder blade back and down. And we'll let the head stay heavy as we reach through the right arm and slowly come all the way up. And then we're going to turn and face forward. So you can sit cross-legged. It's also nice to sit on a block or a book. If that doesn't feel good on your knees, you can put that right underneath your sit bones like I'm showing here and have the knees bent, tops of the feet flat. We're going to stretch the hands right now. A lot of texting and work on the computer, so this is a great series to stretch your hands. We're going to start by extending the arms out to the side. My fingertips are straight up. I'm flexing my wrists, starting with your left, right and left pinky fingers. Start to make a fist. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fist. And then you're going to roll the knuckles down, so you're flexing the wrists. And then I like to add rolling the knuckles forward. Good. And then we're going to go thumbs up to the ceiling. I'll move closer so you can see. And tuck your thumbs first, then start with your pointer fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, make a fist. And then like you're pouring the last drip of water out of a jug, you go straight down. And release. And then extend the arms forward so that your hands are spread wide and your middle finger is touching the ground. And very slowly, we're going to start to bring the palms forward. And I know that a lot of you can go flat right away, but it's not about doing it quickly. It's about doing it slowly. I actually feel the most stretch here. And you might pause there, and that might be fine. Relax your shoulders down. And then, of course, if it feels good to go flat, go flat. I always say that my rule for stretching is you have to have a pleasant look on your face. So if you're like grimacing, that's a signal to your body that you're pushing too much. Take a breath here. And then we want to come out of this just as slowly as we came in. So bend your elbows toward your body, really slowly peeling back the hands. And then interlace the hands together and just do like a figure 8. Try not to have this happen from like the rest of your arms, but just isolating the wrists, and then reverse the direction, which is really good for your brain. Good. And then we're going to come on to all fours. And anytime that we bear weight on the hands, we want the wrists and the shoulders totally stacked. Middle finger straight ahead. I want you to look down at the creases of your elbows. A lot of us hyper-rotate or hyper-extend. So imagine the creases of the elbows facing each other, right? Not forward, but towards each other. That should make you press into your thumbs extra. Shoulder blades down. We're just going to do some cat-cow. Inhale, look forward, arch the back. And exhale, curl the tailbone under. And we're going to do that again. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Let's come into a quick child's pose. Toes together, knees wide. Sit the sit bones back. If you're tight in your shoulders, Matt's doing a pretty good job, but I'll just show that I'm going to put a block underneath his forehead or a book. That can help as well. If this doesn't feel good on your knees, I'm going to show you how you can keep the hips over the knees and make it into Anahata Asana. Take a few breaths into the back of your heart. And then we're going to come back up. We're not going to do a lot of down dogs in this practice, but we will do a few just to come into some lunges. So plant the hands, Step the feet back. And in down dog, we want to shift the hips up and back. Feet are hip bone width. Please bend your knees a lot. Send your hips up and back. And then we're going to walk to the front of the mat. Please bring your feet right at the outside edge. And then bend your knees a lot, almost like your belly touches your thighs. And we're going to take something called neck traction. So interlace your hands at your neck. And then move your pinky fingers to your hairline. So pinky fingers to the hairline. And that way you can squeeze your cheeks with your forearms. It's like you're tractioning your own cervical spine. Now we're going to bring the weight forward into the balls of the feet. The knees are bent. If you don't love this position with the neck, just simply grab onto your biceps and let the head be heavy. Breathe in and out through your nose. Remind the knees to keep bending, even if you're flexible. Remind the weight to come forward into the balls of the feet. And then we're going to release the fingertips right underneath the shoulders. Please lift all 10 toes. That's called active feet. So the balls of the feet are down, the heels are down, but the toes lift. And we're going to come into a mini squat. So I'm going to start to bend my knees. Maybe it's a little bit. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe it feels good to go down a little bit further. Listen to your knees. They will tell you how far to go. And then exhale, take a forward fold. My knees are still bent. Head down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Toes are lifted. That protects your knees. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward, head relaxed. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now, bend the knees a lot. And we're going to step the left foot back into a lunge. So bring your left foot right in line with your right hip, your right glute. Both hands are on the inside of our right foot now. Let's go ahead and pad up the left side of the mat so that you can set the left knee down and you have a little extra padding. And then I'm going to pick up my left foot. That foot's flat. This is a great place to stay. Will you pass me the block? You can use your book or your block to stay up. I actually like to take the block sideways and come down onto my forearms. You might be able to go all the way down onto the forearms like Matt's doing. So feel the stretch in your right inner groin. You might feel it in the left hip. And if you want a little bit more, you can take this right knee a little bit to the right. Just kind of taking it out. You can let your head relax down. And I am pulling my abdominals in and up just a little bit to support the ligaments of the pelvis. Relax your jaw. And then we're going to come back up. Put your block to the side if you're using it. We're going to unfold the mat and we're going to spin around to the left. So this is called wide leg forward fold. I'm going to show you how to use the block if you're tight. Please take your heels slightly out and the toes slightly in. You can totally bend the knees here too. So even if you have a block or whether your hands are on the ground, let's just come forward into a forward fold. If you want a little bit more stretch, rock the weight forward into the balls of the feet. Head heavy. You could totally stay here or bend your right knee. Maybe it's just a little bit. Maybe it's a lot. And come back through center. If that doesn't feel good, skip that part. Stay in a forward fold. Bend the left knee a little bit. Maybe a lot. And come back through center. You can see how I'm really using my hands for support. Again, right knee bends. Those of you that like a deep stretch, you can come into full Skandasana. That's where we externally rotate both legs and we come down super low. You can see Matt doing that on the other side. Take it over, other side. And then we're going to spin to the front again, plant the hands, and just slowly step back into down dog. You can also come onto all fours like I'm showing first, and then come into down dog. And let's just bend the right knee, and then the left, and the right knee, and then the left. Then we're going to walk to the top of the mat again and open up our feet as wide as our mat. And then the fingertips are down. Let's lift all 10 toes again. Balls of the feet are planted. Take an inhale, take a little squat or maybe a big squat, and exhale, fold forward. Good. 2 more. It can be as small as this knee, this far of a bend. Exhale, fold forward. You can keep the knees bent on the forward fold. One more time. Inhale, bend the knees, and exhale, fold forward. Then bring the fingertips underneath your shoulders, and we're going to step that right foot back into the lunge. So the right foot has to come in a little bit. Make sure that your right leg and foot is in line with your right hip bone, your right glute. Let's pad up the right side of the mat. You might not need that, but it's a good thing to do just to be safe. And again, you can grab your book or your block like I'm showing here and stay up, maybe forearms to the block, and more advanced would be coming down to the forearms to the ground. Make sure that you're able to breathe and smile. That's a great place to stay. You can also take this left knee a little bit to the left. Try to let your head relax. Try to relax your jaw and breathe. Especially for my super flexible yogis, make sure that you're not heavy into the ligaments of the pelvis, but you're actually lifting your hips about 1/2 inch with your core. Let's take one more breath here. And then we're going to start to come up, set the block to the side, unfold your mat. And now we're going to walk it over towards the right and come into another wide leg forward fold stretch. Make sure that your heels are even. They're slightly out, the toes angle slightly in. And you can bend the knees a little bit here too. It's okay. You can use your block or your book underneath your hands like I'm showing here. Let's bend the left knee. I encourage you to lift your toes, especially if you have any knee pain. Maybe you want to bend that knee a lot. Come back through center. Bend your right knee a little bit or a lot. Abdominals pulling in, come back to center. Let's do that one more time over to the left. One more time over to the right. And on this side, before we come up, let's do one more thing. This is called flank pose in Forest Yoga. Grab onto your left ankle with your left hand. And then take your right hand on top of that hand and rest your right temple right there on your bicep. Now, if this feels too much, you're going to make your stance just a little more narrow by bringing your right foot closer to your left foot. You can also bend your knees a little bit. If you want more stretch, come forward, bring the weight into the balls of the feet. If you want more stretch still, you can bend your right knee a little bit or a lot. And then let's switch sides. Grab onto your right ankle, left hand on top of that hand. Rest your left temple on your bicep. Same thing here. Weight forward into the balls of the feet if you want more stretch. If you did so on the other side, bend the left knee, scoop the belly in and up. And then we're gonna walk the hands to the front again. Both heels point to the back, and we're gonna step back into downward facing dog. Set up your feet hip bone width, really press into every single knuckle of your hands. Bend one knee, and then the other. One knee, and then the other. And we're gonna come back into child's pose. So knees wide, toes together, reach it back. If your arms feel tired, you can always wrap the arms around your shins like I'm showing here, forehead down. And then let's go ahead and come up. I want to do one side bend stretch before we come onto our back and stretch our hamstrings. So bring your legs out to your right and sit your left sit bone down. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what my legs are doing. I'm kind of stacking one shin on top of the other. And we're going to take a side bend here. Grab onto your right shin, reach your left arm out, and just take a big side bend up and over to the right. Lengthen your neck, keep your ears in line with your shoulders, and come all the way up. And then we can just swing our legs to the front and over to the left. That's perfect. And so I kind of have, knees are separated. Grab your left hand to your left shin and come up and over into a side bend. Take a breath into the whole right side of your ribs. And come all the way up. Now we're going to take our towel and just unwind it so that the towel's in twos. We're going to just double that again so that the towel's folded in half and then in half again. And come on to your back. I'm just turning my head towards you because I think it's the best way to see this. We're going to bring the middle of the towel right on top of our foot. Spread the towel so that it covers as much of your foot as possible. And then we're going to grab onto the side. Matt has good flexibility, so his left leg is straight. You can also keep your left knee bent on this series. The more you hold closer up the towel, the tighter it is. So if you're really tight, just grab onto the bottom of your towel. We're going to bend the knee into the chest and then extend the leg out. And again, in and out and in and out. And then we're going to point the toe and flex it back. Point the toe, flex it back. Point and flex. And then keep the foot flexed and circle just the foot. Try to avoid moving the leg. It's kind of a little bit trickier in the towel. My arms have to move a little bit. And then reverse the direction like you're scraping the inside of a bowl with your toes. And then we're going to take both straps together into the right hand. So again, all the way up towards your foot would be more flexible, down here lower. And I want you to bring your left hand on your left hip bone. And we're going to take this leg out to the side. And I like to bend my right elbow and set the right elbow onto the ground. Those of you that are more flexible, you'll be pulling the right toes towards the shoulder. Totally okay to keep this pretty low. And then we're going to come across, we're going to switch hands, take the towel into your left hand, And we're stretching this right IT band. If you have any pain under your right knee, bend the right knee. It's okay. And feel free to do that as many times as you want, right, left, right, left. To keep this video short, we're going to come back up to center, one strap in each hand again. By the way, totally okay to bend this right knee. And then we just want to feel for a hamstring stretch. So those of you that are more flexible, you might go for it, but even though I'm flexible, just extending the leg straight up and pretending like I'm shooting a laser beam through my right heel is plenty of stretch. And then to do the other side, we just switch legs. So bring your left foot up and then slide your right leg down. Or if you're less flexible, bend your right knee, right foot to the mat. And we bend the left knee into the chest and extend it out. Bend it in. Maybe your extended straight leg out is more 45. Honor that. Inhale. Bend it in, exhale, extend, and then we point the toe, and we flex, point, and flex, point, and flex. And then we want to circle just the ankle, keep the leg stable. 1, 2, 3, reverse. 1, 2, 3. Take both towels in your left hand, bring your right hand to your right hip bone. As we take the leg out to the side, we want to keep that right glute down on the ground. So again, I'm pulling mine pretty close. Matt's keeping his a little lower. Reaching through a straight right leg helps as well. Engage your core, bring it over both straps in the right hand. Ooh. Again, if that's too intense, you're going to bend your left knee a little bit. That's okay. Your left butt cheek does come off the mat just a little bit. And you can do that again, left, right, as many times as you want. We always want to end up to the ceiling or maybe 45, wherever you can get your legs straight. Don't force it. And then let's go ahead and set the towel out to the side. Now we're going to bend the right knee into the chest and take final spinal twist. So pull your right knee in. Using your left hand, guide the knee all the way to the left. You can cactus your right arm like Matt's doing, or keep the right arm straight. You're going to look to the right. Take a couple breaths into your low back. Engage your core, bring it back to center. Hug your right knee in towards your right armpit. Then extend that leg up to the ceiling, give it a little shake. And then down onto the ground, give it a little shake. Let's do the other side, left knee in. Take it over to the right with your right hand. It's okay to let your left foot or even your knee touch the ground. Look to the left. Breathe in and out. Engage your core a little bit. Draw the knee back in. Give it a pull in towards your left armpit now. Extend the left leg up. Give it a shake. And then slide that leg down. Give it a little shake. And then to end, we're going to roll onto the belly. I'm going to let my legs open almost as wide as my mat. Go fist over fist and rest your chin. So you can look towards the camera pretty easily here. If that feels like too much on the neck, go down to one fist. And this is called crocodile. I learned this from a teacher in Bali. I love it. It's a neck stretch. slowly, keeping the weight of the head on your fist, take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Come back through center. Take it over to the left. And do that one more time each side. If that doesn't feel good at all, just bring your hands stacked, forehead down, and you can kind of do this with the forehead down. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. You can push back into child's pose. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep stretching.